This crowd rolled into U.S. Bank Stadium. They were bundled up, jackets and scarves, downright cold outside on this November evening. But all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tonight it's the final morsel in our Thanksgiving feast, and we've got a good one in store between the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. They'll start on the ground here with Nwangu.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a first down. On first down, Strong. A throw on the money to Rager. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. K.J. Hamler, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. Jones in the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans and play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key. Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game. So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot in the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown? Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41. Now, once again, from all of us at EA Sports, happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's had a fantastic day on the couch, belt unbuckled, feet up. This, of course, the nightcap to a great day of football here this Thanksgiving holiday 2022.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Harris running straight ahead, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. This defense for the Vikings, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line and ran out of gas at the end, and this will stay at a 7-point game. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll fire it deep for Rager. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
And a less than desirable return as he's out of bounds at the 15-yard line. They'll start the drive with Harris. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll run again with Harris. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a Caleb Evans. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the 1st as they kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he will be taken down here as the 1st quarter of play will come to an end. 21-0 our score after 1. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
Well, it certainly is because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that. Right there, they get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jones into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So
the Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Off the play fake. Strong. That is caught by Thielen. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 23 yards to pick up there. A nice throw there for the first down. And this is a big moment for this young man under center. You know, he's had a few months now to get acclimated to life in the NFL, but you got to think, a little extra pressure here, right, CD? I mean, you're getting the start on Thanksgiving in front of the national audience.
Especially since you and I both know he's watched this game since he was, what, 4, 5, 6 years old?
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Pats are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Here's Jones on 3rd down. And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They hand this off to Harris. And some space here. And finally, he's taken down at the 18. 41 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. The Patriot first down. First down, and they go back to Harris. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward, and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Devin McCourty picks it off. And the Patriots are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They start near midfield following, and he loses the football a second time. But I think the Patriots are going to hang on to the football. They do. They get it back.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On second down, it's Stevenson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. On third down, here's Harris. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he's got this down to the 35. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. There he goes, left side. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first handout. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but then he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there, and there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency, because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said, this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the third quarter is underway.
Marcus Jones going to elect to bring this one out.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Jones now to throw on 3rd down.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over it.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll run with Nwangu.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Kene Nwangu with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make, and it backfired on him in a big way.
And oh, it's wide right. No good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken at the 15, a short kick.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Thrown to Parker, complete on the slant.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. They run for it with Harris. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now Jones off the play fake.
That's swung out wide to Harris. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Back to throw. Jones. And now here is another interception.
And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa.
Touchdown, Vikings! Jalen Reagor with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Vikings will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And a mistake, a surprising mistake there in the kicking game as he sends that one out of bounds. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. On the give, this is Harris. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They run again with Harris. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 33. Harris. Down to about the 32.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. They just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They'll go right back to Nwangu. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Back to the air on second down. Strong. This is Hamler on the receiving end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 38-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. The fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might
and this is caught inside the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And the Pats are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put